I'd like to call the April 8th, 2026 meeting of the Ogden Town Board to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd ask that you remain standing for a moment of silent reflection and prayer for military servicemen and women serving around the world, as well as for our first responders. Thank you. Well, welcome everyone. This is the point in our meeting where anyone that is participating in government class will now cite the Constitution of the United States. Go, one at a time. Just kidding. Welcome everybody. Nice to see you here right at the end of the class where you have to get your signatures and attend a meeting, but good to see you guys. Let's start the meeting with approval of the minutes, Resolution 125.
So moved.
Second. Moved by Councilman Hinman, seconded by Councilman Baker. Any discussion on this? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next, we have privilege of the floor. It's an opportunity for anyone in the community to come address the board. It's a time for you to bring up topics to us. We don't necessarily respond. It's not like a Q&A time, but you bring up thoughts, comments that you have and can address the board. Just state your name and address for us for the record. And so if there's anybody that'd like to do that, go ahead and come forward and let us know.
Hello, my name is Elizabeth. This is my husband Joshua. We live at 577 Gallup Road. And we're here tonight to just kind of make a statement of a concern we have. They are putting subdivisions and developments at the end of Gallup Road. And we know that Pinewood Country Club is for sale. So we have a concern with what the traffic will do when those subdivisions are built and if that could occur at Pinewood. Our concern is that we would like to see Pinewood remain a golf course certainly and just not become multiple housing where traffic could be an issue.
Right. Basically, just concern about it becoming a development.
100%. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that wishes to address the board at this time? Okay, seeing none, we will close privilege of the floor. Next, we've got reports and remittances, Resolution 126.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Councilman Tom, seconded by Councilman Gerbino. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. We also have town audits, Resolution 127.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Councilman Tom, seconded by Councilman Baker. Any discussion on this? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. There's 2 points of correspondence there for your review. And then we've got reports from town officers. So I wasn't able to go through some of these things at last meeting for time, but I want to go through some of them today. So we had a really good planning meeting, met over at the Highway Garage to just kind of look at the new way that we want to go about doing the rabies vaccination clinic, which is going to be May 10th? May 20th, because I had it on there the wrong way before as well. So May 20th from 5 to 7 p.m. It is in the Ogden Highway Garage. The Highway Department has done a number of things like this that really help with flow of traffic. It just ends up, you have to drive further in, so as traffic builds up, they're not in the road. It's also a little bit more contained, so excited to continue this annual event that we've got for the rabies vaccination clinic. There is, for the board's information, if you haven't heard of it, there's this new thing that the state is trying. I mean, it's an old thing the state's trying, called the Revive Act. And again, it's another attempt for Albany to try to take over home rule. And again, it aims to take over local control of zoning and gives that authority to the state. We obviously believe that our government is unique and every town is unique to develop a comprehensive plan that the people are involved in to decide what they want the town to be and look like and what the initiatives are. And so every year, the Association of Towns, and unanimously every town is against this, red, white, blue, whatever your political affiliation is, we don't want this. So we hope that it is not something that is taken up, but just so everyone is aware. We have been actively planning for our America 250 event, Pineway Ponds. It is scheduled for Thursday, July 2nd, starting at 6 p.m. We've already notified a bunch of businesses and vendors. It's going to be great. Games, there's going to be fireworks, there's going to be not just games for kids, but a whole bunch of lawn games, just celebrating the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. So we look forward to that. Had a really great call with Amazon. All of my calls with them start very frustrated because that's just the relationship that we have. And I was very glad to finally see some tremendous progress. They have adjusted lighting and sound muffling. Those were two of the biggest complaints that have come up. And a while back, I had addressed the whole topic that had come up about their employees walking down Shepherd where there's really no shoulder to get to their bus stop. We had brought that up. I actually did some research and solved the problem for them with RTS, but they weren't really budging on that. They've also told us that they were going to build some kind of berm to additionally help with the sound. So what I have now is definitive. They will be planting mature trees to help out with a buffer. They did not give a timeline for that, so I would not expect that tomorrow. But they also have contracted with RTS for their bus route to alleviate the issues with staff walking. So it is signed, sealed, delivered. They had to budget for that with RTS, but that issue will be resolved. And right now it's not a super big problem because it stays light out past 5 o'clock when that shift change, but especially into the winter months where it's really dark. So grateful for the opportunity to try and resolve that. I did attend the Stop DWI Awards luncheon 2 weeks ago. Both one of our police clerks, Stephanie Ruffino, and Officer Ortiz Speed were honored for their efforts and everything that they do to combat DWI. We do have a number of dates that are on our calendar. We'll share all of those with the board, but for anybody in the public, we've got these things online, certainly sharing them on Facebook. There's a ton of great things going on this spring and summer, and I just invite you to be part of that. And that's it for me. Councilman Baker.
No report.
Councilman Gerbino.
Nothing to report.
Councilman Hinman.
No report.
Councilman Toms.
Yeah. I'd just like to reflect a little bit on what Josh and Elizabeth just mentioned there with the golf course. And, I'm an avid golfer myself and would also like to see it stay as a golf course, but also understand we have no jurisdiction over what happens with that sale. But that's about all I have to say about it.
I've seen rumors online. I have received phone calls myself today. The truth is that a private transaction between two people does not have to go to the town. They do not ask our permission for them to sell their own property. The only jurisdiction we have is if somebody purchases that and then wants to build a Burger King. Well, they can't do that because they don't have the proper zoning. So that's where they would come to us. So to be honest, I do not know.
Yep, I don't either.
I know they don't have sewer because we were approached by a developer and their project. It didn't work, what they were looking to do. So that's the only developer I've heard of. So if it's happened, I'm not aware, and nor would I be aware unless somebody literally told me.
I only saw one post from Frank, and it was quite a while ago, that
Yep.
he wanted to keep it as a golf course,
Yep.
and he was gonna sell it to somebody that was gonna keep it that way, but things change.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you for that. Highway Superintendent Doug Case.
Yes, thank you. I just want to acknowledge that one of our longtime employees, Jerry Hugemeyer, that mowed roadsides in our town from 2001 to 2024, passed away last week. spent 23 years maintaining our town, making it look great all summer long. Also a past chief of the Spencerport Fire Department, so those calling hours are Friday we'll be going to. We had a significant rain event last week that ended up flooding some roads that weren't town responsibilities, but, you know, we were out and about taking care of some calls and stuff, generated one flooded area on Sandstone Drive with a resident that we're working on checking on, taking care of some drainage stuff over there to make sure it's appropriate piping and stuff to alleviate that in the future. It's happened a couple times to him over the years, so. Out of that rain event, though, we have had an abundance of calls and sinkholes and different drainage events that we're chasing down more than normal. Also, March ended up, we got this totals from the county. We had 6.14 inches of rain in the gauge in Spencerport Village, so wet March. So Stonewall Estates, there's been some talk about that. Just if anybody's aware of that, that's the development on Town Line Road. I don't think I spoke about it last week, but the developer is still developing that. If you had any questions about it, the contractor the developer hired is no longer on site working. He has left the site, so the developer is working on retaining another contractor to do the work. So there's, I believe, a basement going on still, but the site work still needs to be completed. So we're working with the developer and assisting with the loose ends to make sure when they get their new contractor, and we can work together to keep that project going with them. So if anybody has any questions, I can speak with you later. Met with AutoZone for a pre-construction meeting. They're scheduled to start Monday down on Union Street here, and that's an 18-week build-out for them. They were saying to us, so that puts it into late August. And then, I don't think I spoke about it either. Last, when the frost came out of the ground and the weather was changing, Paragon Drive made me think about it with our meeting with Amazon. I was with Mike on that one also. Paragon Drive leads back to the Amazon building. The probably 60, 70 feet maybe of the back end of that road just destroyed, and mud was coming out of the ground of the road. We had to go out there and road plate it and make a temporary patch to the area to keep it together for all the truck traffic going in and out of there. Since we thought we were gonna have a significant rebuild, that road hasn't been paved in 27 years. It's been maintained and held together well, but it's fallen apart because of the truck traffic. We talked to Amazon, but didn't get too far with the discussion with them of anything. And, but we did go out and core test the rest of the road, checking the depth of the asphalt and base, and it looks like the rest of the road is still in good shape. It's just that section that blew out has got a base failure, so we'll put it as part of our maintenance for our roads this year. We're putting that together for what we're doing. It just cuts out some of the other stuff we're gonna do because we have to fix it, so.
Yeah, sometimes I get criticized for being openly critical of IDAs. Ours in Monroe is called COMITA, basically the entity that gives tax abatements, and they say, well, they're gonna go somewhere, they're gonna create jobs, and they're gonna, it's gonna bring in revenue that wasn't there. Okay, well, unfortunately, part of the reason that we needed RTS routes is because people don't live in the town of Ogden that are working there. I can't say that for 100% certainty, but the fact that there's a problem that people are walking on the road to the bus route tells me they don't live in Ogden. Secondarily, they have a 90% abatement, so they pay 10% of taxes. So that huge Amazon pays us, it was $23,000, $24,000 per year. And this section of the road gonna cost taxpayers hundreds of thousands of dollars. So taxpayers are subsidizing Amazon, which I think is completely wrong. So I'm grateful we were able to convince them not to have any tax abatement on the second facility that's coming in. But that's the reason. The reason is because residents shouldn't be subsidizing a business. It should be the other way around. But Doug brought that to our attention. We did try to bring it to them, and while they gave us great relief from all this other stuff, That was the one thing that was like, she didn't want to talk about it. She was like, absolutely not. Basically what she said was, this was the agreement that we had with the county, and the town at the time did not interject. They didn't come up with something. So none of the people sitting here were part of the board or part of that
Part
decision-making.
of planning of it.
And the town itself does not give tax abatements. All of that happens at the county level. So it's not even the town's prerogative to be giving that. I guess I should say that, just to make sure.
That's it.
Very good. I do want to equally say that we did, in our pre-meeting, we did talk about the RG&E transmission lines over Heritage Park. I just want to say that for the record. It's looking really good. It's going to really free up some space for Heritage Park. It's not going to happen for a couple of years, but a project we've been working on for a number of years that, once again, we were told it was never going to happen. We persisted, and so I'm grateful to have that project in the future. So. Town Clerk, Noel Burley.
I just want to personally thank Christian for finishing up. We finished and submitted last week the grant proposal for the inventory for our records. We'll hurry up and wait. So I just want to thank Richard. It was a lot of work.
Thank you. Okay, with there being no other unfinished business, we'll move to new business. Madam Clerk, whenever you're ready.
Resolution 128, authorizing Ogden Town Supervisor Mike Sale to execute a contract between the Town of Ogden and Excelis.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Hinman, seconded by Councilman Gerbino. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next, please.
Resolution 129, awarding the bid to Seasonal Landscape LLC for mowing services at town-maintained cemeteries.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Gerbino, seconded by Councilman Hinman. Any discussion on this? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next, please.
Resolution 130, authorizing the reappropriation of funds into the Town of Ogden Police Department for the upfitting of 2 police cruisers.
So moved.
Second?
Moved by Councilman Gerbino, seconded by Councilman Toms. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next, please.
Resolution 131, authorizing the Town of Ogden to host a recycle day on town property on Saturday, June 13th, 2026, from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m.
I'll move that.
Moved by Councilman Baker, seconded by Councilman
So moved.
Hinman. Forgot that one. All in favor? Any opposed? Item carries. Next, please.
Resolution 132, authorizing Ogden Town Supervisor Mike Sale to execute an agreement with the Town of Hamlin for the furnishing of dog kennel facilities.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Hinman, seconded by Councilman Toms. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. I will make a motion to move to executive session and seek the advice of the town's attorney.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we will adjourn to executive session.